If you're into daily news about Colorado's political scene, there is one website that has to be on your daily to look at. That's CompleteColorado.com. This man runs it. He also does a little something here to help out. Mike Krause, thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm the guy that tries to, in addition to CompleteColorado.com, I'm the guy that collects compromising pictures of people to force them to come on your television show, basically, is what happened. And it's been working for a long time. So far, it's been great. There's a lot of compromising stuff out there.
It's funny because you can just... Anyway, Complete had an incredible year. So first, the definition of Complete, for those people who haven't gone to the news site, what is it?
Well, CompleteColorado.com is basically the Drudge Report for Colorado. It's a news aggregation site. And we update it twice a day, and we scour news sites from around Colorado, blogs, newspapers, TV stations, and we link to what we think are the important stories of the day on Complete Colorado. And then we also have what's called Page 2, which is our own original reporting and opinion work. And in fact, Jon Caldara appears on that page, as does investigative work by our 2 full-time reporters. And so it's an aggregator, but it's also an original news site.
What's great about this, from my point of view, is I don't have a lot of time. So I don't want to look at 5 newspapers. I don't want to get 5 newspapers. I look at Complete and I get these bullet points. I've never hit a paywall. I very rarely hit a paywall. Yeah. So I link to these. You link to these stories and you go to other news sites for a lot of it. How hard is it to find stories that are not paywalled stories?
Right. Well, you said you don't have time to go to 5 different sites. Right. The fact of the matter is there's 30, 40, 60, 100 potential news sources out there, depending on what you want. And some of them are very small, like independent blogs without a big audience. So we actually look at all of those every day so you don't have to. And we're putting up what we think is important for the day. It is getting harder and harder to, well, let's put it this way. The number of newspapers that aren't paywalled is shrinking. So that gets a little bit more difficult. It just means we have to get more creative and we're bringing people more non-traditional sources of news. But there's certain places we just simply can't link to because we don't want to send Complete readers to a paywall. We just won't do it. We might do it accidentally on occasion, but we don't do it.
The Colorado part of Complete Colorado, it seems self-explanatory that I don't see a lot of DC news. I don't see a lot of what Trump is up to today. I don't see a lot of impeachment stuff. I see that everywhere else. When I go to Complete Colorado, what I like about it is it's Colorado-centric. It is local, if not even hyper-local. This is about Colorado stuff.
This is very much about Colorado stuff. Now, if there's a national story that has a Colorado link, yes, we would definitely link to that. So something happening in DC that involves, say, Senator Gardner or Michael Bennett's deteriorating presidential campaign, something like that, we'll link to it. But no, this is Colorado, and it is hyper-local. We love linking to things from small town papers that a lot of people outside that small town might not necessarily care about, but it's an issue that might end up in their town at some point, and so they should care about it. So yes.
You had a banner year.
Yes, banner year.
So there are a million ways to count how a website does, and there's all sorts of counters and devices. You use which one to decide and why?
We use Google Analytics, and it's free from Google, and we use it because Google, we didn't used to use it, we actually used to use a pay service. And what we found is that the pay service we were using, we think was overcounting visits a little bit. And so we suspect that a lot of websites out there that are claiming a certain readership, it's not entirely accurate. They're getting an amplified number from some kind of paid stat counting service. We think Google Analytics actually seems to be a little bit more conservative. Right. And so we think it's not that we wouldn't want to look like we're much bigger than we really are, but we want a fair and accurate counting so we know where we really are.
So what's the number?
All right.
How'd you do in 2019?
2019, we ended up...
Because I remember when you started back 11 years ago, the very first year you had, I believe, up to 57 unique views.
There was about, and I was half of them, right. clicking through. We increased the traffic in 2019 about 65% over 2018 to over 2 million visitors.
65% growth in 1 year.
In 1 year, to over 2 million and change visitors to both the aggregator and to our own original reporting and news site. Now, A lot of news sites don't like to talk about their traffic. They might do it with advertisers. We're not most news sites. We're ecstatic that we got over 2 million views because we're just a little old operation being run out of the Independence Institute, and it was a banner year.
The unique stories that come out of there, the unique commentary, Mike Rosen's column, Kristen Toto's column, to see what our writers do. What story did the best from Complete Colorado last year?
We had a lot of solid stories that did very well, but no question the big story of the year was Sherry Pife's story about a young high school kid up in northern Colorado who got kicked out of school, who got suspended for posting a video of him and his family preparing to go on a family shooting outing, and showed some guns in some cases. And
they were going to the shooting range.
They were going to the shooting range, and the kid ended up getting suspended, quickly reinstated, but we had over 60,000 views to that story.
Incredible. Keep it up. I
Thanks.
expect 2020 to be better. Check out CompleteColorado.com. Listen for me on talk radio and some newspapers someplace. We'll see you next week.